What do you do when the world judges you by your size, by your clothes, by the twists and turns of your path? You learn to judge yourself by something stronger, your heart. This is Daniel's story, a life carved not by the loudest taunt, but by the quiet, stubborn force within him. We open in a corridor that feels almost like a courtroom, where the whispers of childhood become a chorus. A boy's shoulders slump as laughter rings out. Weight jokes, isolating glances, the cold detachment of being left out. But in the same frame, a mother's hands move with tireless rhythm. A janitor's mop squeaks, long shifts after long shifts, a reminder that love often works behind the scenes, out of the spotlight, investing time, energy, and hope. Those hours become Daniel's unseen training ground, a moral boot camp where resilience is learned before it's earned. Resilience and inner strength as the core theme, the quiet engine that pushes him forward, even on days when hope feels thin. He's not defined by the taunts, he's defined by the choice to push through them, to define himself by a heart bigger than the hurt. In the next act, we step into Daniel's daily world. Bullying isn't a single moment, it's a rhythm. The hallway, the cafeteria, the classroom, the jeers that travel on the wind like a chorus. The origin is clear in the expressions and the glances. Appearance becomes a passport to exclusion, a social score that seems to decide where you belong. Shame sits like a weight on his chest. Isolation tightens its grip. Fear of judgment becomes a constant, a companion in every classroom, every gymnasium. And yet the story threads these scenes together with a larger truth. Biases about body image and class are not just personal miseries. They are a mirror of a society sorting people by appearances. Daniel's experience is not just his own. It's a window into a culture that still tries to rank worth by looks and lineage. The narration leans into the gravity of it, but it keeps a steady light tucked away, hinting at possibility, at a future where effort, character, and kindness rewrite the script. Then comes a turning point that many stories chase, but few stories yield with such clarity. Hard work meeting unshakable resolve. Daniel makes a precise choice, to turn pain into discipline. The late-night library becomes his arena. A desk lamp flickers, coffee cups multiply, pages turn in a drumbeat of stubborn routine. He doubles down on study, not to prove anyone right, but to prove something essential to himself. The milestones arrive in slow, satisfying increments. A scholarship earned through steady effort, a GPA that climbs, a leadership role that emerges from quiet competence rather than loud bravado. The mentors speak in interviews, their voices affirming a simple but powerful truth. Growth mindset matters more than raw talent when talent alone can't carry you through the cycle of setbacks. And the chalkboard in his mind fills with goals. Graduate with honours, build a career, give back. The arc moves from desperation to direction, from fear to focus. The lesson lands with precision. Sustained effort, learned through days and nights of practice, creates outcomes that excuses can't touch. Then we arrive at the gala, the symbolic arena where appearances have their final say, and respect is either earned or afforded by chance. The room gleams, the applause rings, and in the middle of the floor stands Daniel, the same person who once staggered under a chorus of sneers, now steady and poised. He looks across the room and sees Jessica, the girl who mocked him years ago, no longer his rival but a mirror for a moment of truth. He speaks with calm clarity, a remark that reframes the entire dynamic. We both know what it's like to be judged by appearances, yours and mine. It's not a blow for revenge, it's a declaration of growth. The power shifts not through force but through restraint, not through scorn but through dignity. Jessica registers the shift in her expression. Surprise, curiosity, perhaps a dawning recognition. The moment doesn't erase the past, it redefines what the past means now. It was the crucible that forged a better version of him, and it is a turning point in the ongoing conversation about who holds power and what power truly means. From there, the message widens into a simple, universal truth. Respect is earned through humility, through compassion, through choosing kindness even when it's hardest. Daniel extends a quiet gesture, a conversation with Jessica, a moment of real listening to a peer who might still doubt themselves. A small act of encouragement that travels farther than any victory on stage. Words appear on the screen like seeds planted in a garden. Respect everyone, you never know who they'll become. The audience reacts in real time, A chorus of nods, some tears, a few eyes bright with recognition. The scene makes a case that identity isn't a fixed label, but a living process. Transformation is possible, visible to others, and worth choosing again and again. The antagonist role dissolves into a catalyst for growth, a reminder that cruelty can be the flare that lights a larger journey rather than the flame that destroys it. As the narrative gathers momentum, we see the broader impact of Daniel's arc. It isn't enough to buoy one boy. The story demonstrates a practical path from suffering to achievement through resilience and kindness. The takeaway isn't merely to feel inspired, it's to adopt a set of actions. Daily resilience prompts, 5-minute reflection journaling, weekly acts of kindness. The arc shows Daniel not just succeeding but expanding his influence, mentoring others, volunteering, speaking at schools, reshaping community programs. The message crystallizes: look beyond appearance, recognize potential, and treat obstacles as growth opportunities. This is a narrative about building a life that uplifts others as it uplifts you. Why does this story matter in a world hungry for adrenaline and flash? Because its core value rests on inner strength, ethical action, and lasting transformation. It's a contrast to high-octane fare. Here the energy comes from truth, humility, discipline, and care. It aligns with a channel that prizes authenticity, memorable quotables, and meaningful life lessons. It invites repeatable, ongoing conversations, daily resilience routines, kindness challenges, reflective prompts. The channel becomes a classroom and a community, a place where viewers aren't just spectators, but participants in a gradual, repeatable process of becoming. So if you're watching, take away a concrete plan. Start with a simple journaling habit. One line about what challenged you today and one thing you did well. Set a short-term goal you can actually reach this week and map a kindness act you'll perform for someone else. Build a small circle of support, mentors, friends, accountability partners, people who call you higher and tell you the truth when you wobble. And remember, the greatest strength isn't the ability to win every argument. It's the courage to stay steady when the world tries to pull you off your course. Daniel's journey isn't just about a boy who survived bullying. It's a blueprint for turning pain into purpose, fear into focus, and a harsh verdict into a life of impact. If you're ready, start now. Write down one change you'll make this week and one person you'll uplift. The rest follows, one disciplined day at a time.